Salutations weary travelers, Blue Spice here. Today we'll be discussing a few updates on Brime and then getting into the drama/legal aspect of today's video. As always, please do not harass anyone mentioned in this video. Anyhow, without further ado, here we go. So, for starters, let's get into the updates. They recently added the ability to delete clips off your channel. They changed how channels are connected to stream keys. They added mod, a ban, and unmod feature to their site, and made a few fixes. And they had a community update stream. We'll be discussing some aspects of this community update stream later in the video. For starters, we're going to go ahead and get back into the drama surrounding them banning and harassing one of their users. It's still my belief that they falsely banned this user based on all the evidence that I've come up with. Now, the entire story behind why they were banned was because one of the what happened to this user over on Twitch. Essentially, Geekin stated that this user was banned for being racist and showing lewd images and stuff like that on stream. However, in reality, if Twitch or Brime had bothered to look further into this, they would have noticed that this user's account was actually hacked into by trolls that were harassing him for months, in which they played and said these certain things on stream in order to get him banned. Geekin made the claim that he himself looked into this with his own research, but it's extremely doubtful, as anyone that would have done even a little bit of digging would clearly have noticed that this user's account was hacked into. Now, not long later, I decided to contact one of Brime's staff members. However, no comment other than a heart was given. Further statements were made by Geekin in regards to this user, which include a quite threatening message in regards to this user's phone number, as well as claims that this user was a quote-unquote bitch trying to act hard. Funnily enough, this very much seems to me that Geekin is trying to quote-unquote act hard. It's a real shame that he has to go through these lengths to threaten and harass this individual who had done nothing but try and support the site. Moving on, let's start talking about what's happening to TJ Marsh, aka Major Respect. Now, for a quick rundown for those of you who don't know who he is, he's the original founder of Brime. Very recently, Geekin and Zach have not only had him removed as a founder, but have attempted and failed to take down his Twitter page and various other social media accounts that he is connected to. Now, the messed up part in regards to all this is not only do I believe that TJ is a founder, but that Zach himself stated that he'll keep his title and even signed a contract that stated that TJ was a founder. Now, Zach tried having all of this information hidden and deleted, but as the saying goes, the internet is forever. Now, past this, we have an instance of where Geekin has stated that TJ attempted to have everyone removed from the Crunchbase profile, and that TJ was trying to steal their hard work. However, upon further digging, I found that this comment made by Geekin to be false and outright manipulative to the community. You see, I went ahead and contacted TJ about the matter, and he stated and even showed me that the only time he contacted Crunchbase was for himself to be removed at the threatening request of Geekin. Geekin later reacted to what TJ had posted, exposing Geekin for lying. He then started to say that he didn't want to take down his Twitter account or any of his other social media accounts. But based on their actions and what was stated by Twitter upon the notice, it was made quite clear that their goal from the start was trying to get rid of TJ and claim that they were the sole creators of Brime. Not too long ago, I posted that the owners of Brime were more than welcome to contact me with their side of the story in regards to TJ and the whole founder fiasco. Not long after, I was contacted by their head moderator, Watson. Now, to make this clear, Watson is simply relaying a message, so I have no hate towards this individual. Anyhow, they basically tried claiming that they just wanted TJ to stop claiming that he was the founder and to stop trying to kick them off Crunchbase. In response, I essentially stated what I just stated previously and pretty much tore that statement to complete shreds. No further statement was made in regards to that. Now we can start to talk about one of the main things discussed in the community update stream, this being the ability to play any music during a live stream and not getting a DMCA takedown. Geekin is under the impression that they'll not only be capable of landing a contract to use all these songs, but be able to afford it long term, and the entire user base of Brime will be able to use this for free. Now, in other people's opinions, such as Epos Fox and others, it would be nearly impossible for this to happen. Not only would they have to make deals upon deals with different artists and those that protect the songs, but they'd very much likely be paying millions upon millions of dollars on a daily basis to use these songs. Now, in my opinion, I found this to be extremely difficult and near impossible for Brime to do. They do not have the funding for this, and if they chose to not protect their users, then many of them, including the site, would be extremely liable and get in deep legal trouble. I can imagine a few scenarios of how this plays out. They either A, don't end up keeping to the word on this and don't actually release it, or B, they're able to get contracts with like a few songs, but not anything big and nothing long term. In either case, I personally believe that this will not happen, and they will not hold to their promise. Next up, there are rumors going around that some aspects of Brime are actually from OSP. As of right now, I'll do my best to remain neutral and wait to be given more information. I will, however, be stating what both sides are stating. One individual is essentially claiming that parts of Brime are just ripped code from OSP that Brime tried to claim as their own. On the other end of this aisle, one of the Brime devs/moderators essentially claim that nothing was stolen from OSP and that Brime worked hard to ensure that everything was made their own. Now, outside of this argument, there are times where Brime very much doesn't make something themselves, but does use the work of others, such as using this template to build their site. Now, this in itself isn't bad, but when they claim that they made this was custom made and they made it themselves, it does. There are a few other aspects of Brime that were not made by Brime that I am aware of, but for the purpose of keeping this all simple, I'll just leave it at that, and for you to form your own opinions on. Anyhow, moving on to our last bit to share, we'll be having a discussion about Brime Pro and user security. Now, for those of you unaware of what Brime Pro is, it's basically a subscription to the site that gives you access to different features. So, for $6.99 per month, you get the following: no ads, you get a chat username color, 30 days of VODs, a Brime Pro badge, and 1 monthly tier 1 sub to a creator of your choice. Now, my issue with this entire thing is quite simple. 1. There are currently no ads on Brime whatsoever, so at this moment in time, there's zero reason to have that listed. 2. The payment system, not only do you not need to be logged into your account to access this and purchase, but you don't even have to put your username in during the purchase. So how exactly are you supposed to get it attached to your account without directly contacting Brime support? 3. This connects to number 2. You state that the payment system goes out to one of your partners, but what partner would this be? And how can a user know that their information is secure and won't be used inappropriately? Especially since, in the recent past, Geekin made it quite clear on how he abuses user data by not only threatening them by releasing their phone number, but outright actively talking about user tickets created. Now, Geekin has tried claiming that the users of Brime wanted a way to support the site. This is very clearly isn't that. If you want to give people the chance to support the site, then you'd create a Patreon or some sort of other donation site with a goal. Instead, you're offering these features that for the most part don't even matter, and are offering it through a payment system that is outright sketchy as all hell. In my opinion, this is nothing more than an easy way to milk users of their money, but to gain easy access to their personal information as well. Anyhow, thank you all for watching. If anyone has any questions, comments, or concerns, then please feel free to let me know. I'd very much like to hear your opinions on today's video, even if I disagree with those opinions. Again, thank you all for watching, keep safe, and have a lovely day. Goodbye.